and welcome back to Vintage Family Recipes with me, Belle. Tonight we're going to make something called frosted cocoa brownies. They're my grandmother's recipe, once again. I distinctly remember these from the 1970s, and I turned 10 in 1972. Tonight we're going to make these brownies in my 1970s era dress with my nice big earrings and my kind of funky out apron that I just put on backwards. Oh no, I didn't, never mind. I couldn't find a peace sign apron. I would have been thrilled if I could have found a peace sign apron, but I didn't, so we're going with orange. I've already measured my sugar, a cup, and my half a cup of shortening. Because it's the 70s, I am going to use my hand mixer. Makes things a whole lot easier. So we're going to cream these two things together. Doesn't have to be super creamy, but I did want to get them mixed together before I moved on. It calls for 2 eggs. I'm going to whisk those together and dump them in. And the recipe just said to mix it all together at once. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we are going to add the flour, the cocoa, the baking powder, and the salt. And that's really it. My grandmother does say that you can use a half a cup of chopped nuts, but as I've said before, I don't like nuts, so I'm not putting them in. It says 2/3 of a cup of flour, a half a cup of cocoa. I need baking powder and salt. A half a teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. And I tend to go on the lighter side with the salt. Once the chocolate's fairly mixed in so the chocolate powder doesn't go everywhere, then I'll turn up the beater. But I just kind of want to make sure it's all smushed in first. It does call for 2 8-inch pans. I only have square a 9-inch pan. So we're just going to go with the 9. It says to grease it generously. So here we go. Okay, waxed up well. Nice and greased. I feel like I'm a little off my game today. Spatula. This is another recipe that's actually fairly quick. Once you get it mixed up, it bakes in 30 minutes. Because I have an 8-inch pan, I'm going to check it at 20. I'm sorry, a 9-inch pan. I'm going to check it at 20. It calls for an 8-inch, and I just want to make sure I don't burn it. This just feels so ridiculously thick. Yeah, this is really thick. You definitely want to make sure you have an 8-inch pan with this. We're going to pop these in the oven for 30 minutes. There they are before they go in the oven. So we're going to put them in the oven and see what they look like in just a little bit. And this brownie looks like a sandwich. And it sort of is. Because I made it in a bigger pan than I should have. It was thin. And so I cut it in half, frosted it, another half of the brownie, frosting, and chocolate chips. And we're going to see what it's like. Oops.
It tastes good. It's a little difficult to handle because the pieces are sliding past each other.
Okay.
So it's messy, but it's tasty.
Okay. Messy but tasty. That's what napkins are for. We hope you enjoyed the video tonight with the frosted cocoa brownies. Join us next time on Vintage Family Recipes with me, Belle. I forgot what my outro is.